Hey guys, Tara Boyd, independent consultant with Usborne Books and More, and I am here to talk to you guys about family favorites. You know, those books where you're like, oh, hey, that book again? Awesome. We've only read that one about 80 million times today. These are the kind of books that you can't skip through the pages because your kids have all the words memorized. First up is one of my all-time favorites, and it's Nibbles. Nibbles is a book-eating monster that makes his way through very popular classic fairy tales, changing it up a little bit in a really funny and really catchy way. Kids love Nibbles. Next up, one of my all-time favorites is one of these stories that is a mix of nonfiction and fiction together. This is The Curious Case of the Missing Mammoth. I love this book because it has lots of fun little flaps for kids to look at and read. There's a ton of information that is fun for kids to learn about all these different things as they go through this museum looking for the missing mammoth. No video about favorites by Usborne Books and More would be complete without talking about these two amazing books, All Better and Little Bear Needs Glasses. These books are so much fun. They are filled with these re-stickable band-aids that you can put on these books. This one, All Better, is all about these little animals that have boo-boos, and there are band-aids that you can put on the animals to make them feel better. And then Little Bear Needs Glasses is a super fun book with the same re-stickable, reusable glasses that you can put on different animals. And these stories are so great about teaching kids about empathy and caring for others. Now, before we go any further, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of my favorite books for little babies. And these are books that are super simple, but they're super sweet. And as parents, we love reading them to our kiddos. So first up, love You Whoo. This is such a sweet little story about a mommy owl and her baby. And it's just all about how much the mommy loves the baby owl. And it's so sweet. I love the bright illustrations and the simple text. Love You Whoo. Remember how I said that it's hard to skip some of the pages in these books that are favorites? Well, B is for Bedtime is definitely one that is hard to skip through the pages once your kids have read this book a couple times and know it because it goes through the alphabet. So this is a great fun book for getting kids winded down and ready for bedtime. It goes through the entire alphabet and talks about different things that are all about bedtime. I love this book. So a lot of times favorites are the classics, right? And two of the ultimate classics of Usborne that I absolutely love so much are these two books, Bears Don't Read and A Tale of Two Beasts. Both of these stories are just so much fun. They're picture books, so they have wonderful, beautiful illustrations, but they have such fun stories. And this story is about a bear who isn't like all the other bears, and he really wants to learn how to read, but all the other bears are like, what? So he goes to a town and finds a school. Obviously, the humans aren't too pleased about this. He finds a little girl named Clementine. They become forever friends, and she teaches him how to read. I love this story. And then I absolutely love A Tale of Two Beasts. A Tale of Two Beasts is an awesome story. It's about a little girl who saves a little beast. And this story just really goes through two stories. They're the exact same story, but from two different perspectives. The first part of the story is from the perspective of the little girl. And then the second half of the book is the same story, but from the perspective of the animal. And so it's a really fun way to teach kids that even though they think that something happened one way, there's always more than one way to look at something, and this is a great book about teaching perspectives. Do any of you guys have kids that like to really drag out bedtime stories? I do. And this book is a book that is a favorite of both of my girls for that very reason. They get to count to 100, and that can take a long time. This book is so much fun though, and it really is good for getting their attention going and really kind of honing in on the skills of counting. So this is a book that we get to go through quite often, and they get to practice their counting. It even has become something that I actually look forward to doing at bedtime. And if your kids love counting books, we have all kinds of search and find books for that exact purpose. Just like this one, 1001 Bugs to Spot. This book is full of pages for them to count creepy, crawly creatures. There is all kinds of pictures for them to find within the bigger picture and count it all along the way. We have a lot of different books in this 1001 search and find series over all kinds of subjects. Some other popular books that we have are those books that really let kids ask and answer a ton of questions, because that's what kids do, right? So enter these amazing lift the flap very first question and answer books. We have What Are Stars, which is a great one. What Are Germs? And my kids' favorite, What is Poop? Insert potty humor here. But let's back up to my favorite one, and that is What Are Germs? This book is my favorite because it's very informational, and it's something that kids understand the concept of, especially as they enter school. And I love this book because it really backs me up in the nagging factor, because I'm always bugging my kids to wash their hands. And this book tells them why. We have all kinds of books that will be your kids' favorite, whether it's about one of their favorite animals, maybe something to support one of their favorite movies, maybe a little bit of something that keeps them busy while mom drinks her morning coffee. Or maybe teach them about somebody in history that's amazing. We have all kinds of different stories that will become your family's favorites.